was night. The deserted streets of the village looked filled with fear. Along with the gusts of wind, sometimes the barking of dogs was heard. The moon was in the sky, but the clouds kept covering it again and again. It was famous about a dark alley in that village that a shadow lived there. The villagers were afraid to pass through that alley at night. The elders used to say that centuries ago, a bloody murder had happened there. The spirit of the murdered woman still wanders in search of justice. Some even claimed that they had seen that woman at night. In the same village lived a young man named Arsalan. He was educated and brave, and he did not believe in such things. When people told stories of the dark alley, he would laugh. He used to say, "These are just illusions of cowardly people. Nothing is real." But the elders of the village often advised him not to go there at night. They said, "Son, going into that alley is inviting death." But Arsalan's mockery grew even more. One day he made a bet that he would spend a night in the dark alley. Evening was falling, and the villagers were returning to their homes. Lamps were being lit. Every door was slowly closing. Silence and mist were covering the dark alley. At that very moment, Arsalan decided he would fulfill his bet tonight. He invited his friend Hamza to go with him. But Hamza refused immediately out of fear. He said, "Arsalan, don't go. This is not a game." But Arsalan laughed and said, "Tomorrow you'll see. I'll return alive and safe." It was 10 o'clock at night. Arsalan, holding a lantern in his hand, was walking toward the dark alley. As soon as he entered, a cold wave welcomed him, as if someone whispered in his ear, "Go back, go back." He did not stop, rather smiled and moved forward. All around were ruined houses and broken trees. A door creaked and shook with the wind. Suddenly he felt as if someone was walking behind him. He turned around, but the alley was empty. He said, "It's just illusions. No need to be afraid." But his voice trembled. Few steps ahead he saw the shadow of a woman. She was standing like a shadow at the corner of the alley. When Arsalan raised his lantern, there was nothing there, but on the ground was a stain of blood. His heart began to pound fast, but he was not the one to bow before his stubbornness. He sat down in the middle of the alley and said, "Come on, let's see who dares to face me." Just a few moments passed when a cold wind began to blow. The lantern went out and the alley drowned in darkness. In the darkness, the sound of someone crying was heard. It was a woman's voice coming closer. Arsalan gathered courage and pulled out a matchstick. As the light appeared, he saw a woman standing in front of him. Her face was full of wounds and her eyes were red. Muttering, she said, "Where are my killers?" Arsalan's throat went dry, but he did not lose courage. He said, "I am not your killer. I am only a human." The woman laughed loudly. The echo spread across the alley. Suddenly, her body turned into mist and disappeared. Suddenly, the ground began to shake and shadows danced on the walls. Arsalan felt as if dead bodies were lying everywhere. Screams echoed in his ears. He lost his senses and began to run blindly. Just as he was about to escape, the door shut. The alley looked like a prison. Once again, the woman appeared in front of him. This time she had a blood-stained knife in her hand. The woman said, "This alley is my prison. No one leaves alive." Arsalan's feet froze. He said, "I only came to win a bet." The woman screamed, "Here there are no bets. Only death." Suddenly the village lamps went out. Darkness spread everywhere. From afar, the villagers began to hear screams. They did not dare to open their doors. Everyone looked at each other, knowing Arsalan would not return. The sun rose in the morning. The villagers gathered outside the dark alley. When they went inside, they found only Arsalan's lantern, and blood stains were scattered on the ground. From that day, no one went near that alley again. People say Arsalan's screams echo there at night. Some claimed that sometimes he appears holding a lantern, but his face no longer looks human, only a shadow.